Hey, and welcome to my channel. This is my part 2 video addressing chasing people. If you haven't watched the part 1 video, you are absolutely welcome to do that. Both videos, obviously are going to talk about different things, so you're not missing anything by hearing the part 2 first. So you can keep it here and then just go back to part 1 once this one's done, okay? So to wrap up the part 1, we basically talked about how exhausting that is. We talked about how it speaks on your self-worth and your self-esteem. In part 1, we talked about just taking the lessons and the seasons and the endings in life. We talked about when we don't, how this is creating resistance. All right, and we also talked about how you're staying in the cycles of abuse by chasing. Okay. So let's talk about some other aspects of chasing that may not have dawned on the person that's doing the chasing. Okay. Now, the first thing that I want to get into here is the subconscious aspect of it. Because when you're chasing someone, whether you know it or not, you're sending a subconscious message, and it's going to become conscious to them. It's going to become conscious to them, but oftentimes the chaser, the person doing the chasing, is not aware of it at the time. But subconsciously, it's like you telling that person, hey, you're above me. You're better than me. Okay, and it's like you telling yourself, I can't get better than you. I don't think I can get better than you, so I gotta chase you and try to hold on to you, try to pull you back over here and into me. Okay, so those are the subconscious messages that you're subliminally sending and literally sending. And you may not think you really feel that way, but it's what your actions are demonstrating at that point. And there are times where people's actions aren't demonstrating how they actually feel. There are times. Just talk to someone that's hurt and that's been hurt a lot in life, and they're really guarded. So they run from love. So instead of when they start actually feeling love for someone, they start being mean and rude. They start self-sabotaging the relationship. So their actions aren't in alignment with what they're feeling per se, not on the love aspect, but it is in alignment with the fear, the fear aspect. Okay, so we can relate that to the chasing as well. So what are you fearing when you don't want to let that go? Or this person walking out of your life? Okay, so that's something to consider, at least on the subconscious aspect of things, okay? Now, the other person that's watching you chase and go above and beyond and exalt yourself and fight to the death, if you will, to get their attention, it devalues you in their eyes. It doesn't make you seem worthier. It actually devalues you, because they're going to sit back and think, why are they doing all this? I'm not giving them attention. I'm not treating them right. I'm not giving them what they ask for, but yet I must be better than them. I must be above them. And then for someone that's narcissistic, it's just inflating their ego at that point, and it's just giving them the green light to really unmask themselves. And because now that you've made yourself like a servant and they're like a master at that point. Like, yeah, you need me. You want me. That's what a narcissist, that's what they want to feel anyway. So you're falling in line with that. And it's like feeding a monster at that point. Now they're in their mind, they've engaged in it, and they say, okay, yeah, I can do this, I can do that to this person. yeah, I really am. I am above this person. That's how they're going to feel when they see you. They know that you're giving more than they're giving. They know that you're chasing them. Okay? But to a healthy person, it's going to be a turnoff. It's going to be a turnoff. Now, to an unhealthy person, they're going to be turned on by this. Game on. So, another aspect of this chasing is, protecting ourselves from narcissistic abuse, knowing that they want the chase. They want that admiration. They want to be put on that throne and the pedestal. They want people bowing down to them. So it's one of the ways to actually protect yourself from narcissistic abuse and narcissistic personalities. Okay? Because the unhealthy people, the game players, the playboys, the narcissists, and other people with personality disorder, just toxic people, they're gonna be thriving in this. Okay, now you're on their wavelength, and you know what being on their wavelength is going to get you. So, the messages that we're sending other people, protecting ourselves, of course, from other narcissists, and the messages that we're sending ourselves, this is all going to be relevant into, your outview of chasing. And this is why it needs to stop. This is why it needs to stop, guys. And hopefully, this part 2 video could really help it just come full circle when you're considering the things from part 1 and part 2. It's not a good look. It's not what you need to be doing. Get comfortable. Get very comfortable with detachment. I'm going to make a video on the law of detachment. There's a law of detachment. But that's about letting go of control, because there is an element, when we're chasing, there's an element of control there. You might not feel it because you feel like you're losing control of this other person that left, but you never had control of them to begin with. That's the whole thing. You never had control of that narcissist. They were controlling you and manipulating you, even while you're chasing them, especially when you're chasing them. When you think about the cycle of abuse, the love bomb phase, devaluing and discard, that devalue and discard, those phases are setting up a broken person to be chasing. If you have issues with feeling rejected, being accepted, needing that external love, having to be in a relationship, those are some of the pitfalls. So if you have those issues, when that narcissist starts devaluing you, it's going to be triggering you. It's going to be triggering you into that chase. And that is a red light to you and a red flag to you. When you start feeling yourself being triggered, okay, I still have work to do. But when you have that kind of self-awareness, you can acknowledge that and remove yourself still. You can resist. You can resist that chase. Even when you're feeling the urge, even if it's not out of your behavior patterns yet, you still can be aware of it. It's just like if I'm on a diet and I'm in a bakery, I can walk out of it. Like, you know what? I don't need to be in here right now. And all of my flesh could want something, a cupcake or something. All of my flesh could want it, but I could deny it. When we're starting the new patterns, we're going to have to deny our old ways so that we can be different, guys. But the good news is if we really, really receive it in our heads, in our minds, the denial won't feel like a denial. It won't. It'll feel like the right thing to do because you've accepted it as the correct, right way to be. Is when there's still some resistance in your mind, there's some resistance somewhere, it's going to make it hard for you to stop the toxic patterns because it's something that you're still enjoying about it. It's something that you're still longing and wanting from it. And that is going against even what you may logically know is correct to do. Okay? So, and that's why sometimes our spirit is fighting our flesh all the time. And even sometimes it's happening all the time. You know, we're just on a subconscious level. And some of us are more conscious about that battle that's going on. Because we know the flesh just wants what feels good in a moment. That's what the flesh wants. It's not thinking about later. It's not even thinking about hours from now. It just wants now. It wants that hit now, that dopamine hit now, that gush of whatever, that ecstasy, whatever, it wants it now. The satisfaction of taking a bite of that cupcake and eating it for 1 minute. And then, oh my gosh, I just worked out. I just ate all the calories back. I this many grams of fat and sugar. And it's not thinking about that. Or your pre-diabetes. It's not thinking about that. Your flesh is not thinking about your heart and all the pain that it's gone through. It's not. It's not. It'll be thinking about the soul tie that it enjoys. You know, that's what it's going to think about. Your spirit knows better, but sometimes it's not louder. And that's why you're doing the work on yourself, guys, so that it can get louder. But you don't have to chase anybody. You really don't. Like, just think about all that you're bringing to the table. And if they can't see it, you see where they are. And everybody's not meant to see it. How about that? You have to be okay with these things. Different strokes for different folks. That's fine. That is fine. But guess who it's fine to? The person that's secure within themselves. The person that's not moving out of a desperate or needy place. Because that's what chasing gives the message of. You may not feel like you are, but that's what your actions are saying. Especially for you women out there. You guys aren't hunters. That's not what we were made for. And for my male survivors, there's a difference between pursuing and chasing a woman as well. So let me just say that to you guys. There's a difference between pursuing and chasing. All right. So I just really wanted to make this part 2 video, and I hope that this helps, add additional clarification, of course, to this whole topic of chasing. And if this video resonates with you, go ahead and hit the like button. It really helps when you guys like videos. It's how YouTube decides, whose video to push out further. And this is how we can spread awareness. So simply even liking my video, helps to promote a message. And know that for any YouTube videos that you watch, all right? I have this support group, guys, on Facebook that you're always welcome to join. I try to say this in every video for newcomers, and hello to you guys. Over 300 videos here to help you heal from a toxic relationship and, get more balanced and centered, increase your emotional maturity. Because life really is about relationships, and especially the ones that we have with ourselves. So you would go to Lakia Reflection and Progression Crawford, and that's the support group. We have a lot of fun. We exchange information, and why not give yourself all the support that you can. I'm on Instagram, guys. All this is on the About page, and it's under most of the videos. I have a website, LakiaCrawford.com. If you're interested in getting one-on-one coaching from me, I do this over the phone, I do FaceTime, I do Skype, and I do email coaching, okay? Because writing can be very therapeutic. On my website, you can see all the products that I have. I have the No Narc Zone merchandise, and I've written 4 books, guys, 4 therapeutic books that can help you as well, in addition to the channel. All right. So with all that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. Take what you can from any and all of my videos. I put them into playlists to help you jump into topics easier. I always like to promote the motivational playlist for survivors from narcissistic abuse because, you know, on the days that you're feeling triggered, you don't want to get out of bed, that anger hits you when you think about all the disrespect and you're just going through the motions and, you know, you're in your feelings. Those are the videos. There's over 30 videos in that playlist that can help, you know, pull you out of that dark place. Because the last thing you want to do is continue to, you know, get swallowed by that darkness. Okay. So you got to intercept it when you start feeling it. And surround yourself by as much positivity as possible. Just do this in life, period. Okay. But especially when you're feeling triggered and you're having those times and days that we often feel, you know, especially in the beginning, and then just here and there it might be sprinkled because it was a trauma. Narcissistic abuse is a trauma. All right. It's a trauma and it has to be managed. But the great news is you can manage it down. You can get it down dramatically. And you'll be surprised one day when you look back at your progress. All right. So hang in there for those of you in the beginning of your journey of healing. I know it's a lot to swallow and lift yourself up from, but you're a lot stronger than you could ever imagine. And this whole situation will show you that. Okay. All right, guys. So until next time, please take care.